That's an afternoon probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river, and we are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
Pulls it in at the 13.
And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 of the 24. They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Now this defense for the Commanders, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jones has this complete to Daniel Bellinger. 20, 10, 5. A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Throwing, Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Touchdown! Saquon Barkley with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Giants march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage.
Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting the loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. First and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders.
At their own 20-yard line. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is, we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Third and 1. Hal's going to throw it.
And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
Waiting on it will be Richie James. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now Jones. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
The Giants at 6-5 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
And he stopped immediately there. Brought down on the play by Kayvon Thibodeaux.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll go play action. Howell. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Giants. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to having a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
51 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it.
Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Off-play action. It's Howell.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession.